Hey everybody, it is Father Sean for another episode of the Couch Chat coming your way, and directly behind my head is a picture of Pope St. John Paul II. You may not be able to see it because of the light reflection, but he's there. So I point out Pope St. John Paul II because today is the day that the conclave begins. The conclave, maybe, I don't know what time the conclave actually begins, but maybe by the time that you're watching this, it has already started. So the conclave, of course, comes from the Latin word con, with, clave, key. So they, with a key, lock the cardinals in the Sistine Chapel and some associated rooms for their sleeping. Nobody in, nobody out until a new pope has been chosen. So these are days of waiting. These are days of asking the Holy Spirit to guide all of those involved in the election of a pope. So basically how this goes is they have different rounds of voting, and I believe the first day, once they get into the conclave, everybody's made their promise, their oath to secrecy, their oath to not share, and their oath to not be influenced by anything outside. So, you know, if the president of a country calls a cardinal, like, he's not going to let that influence his vote, even payment, so not to be bribed, that they are not bribed. So, long story short, conclave starts. All the cardinals make this oath to secrecy and to faithfulness, and then they have one round of voting on the first day, and then the next day there's 4 rounds of voting. So Thursday, tomorrow, if they need them, there'll be 2 rounds in the morning, 2 rounds in the afternoon. And I believe they have to get to 2/3 majority. So basically the voting ends once there's a 2/3 majority. So that happens for a number of days. There's, things worked in, like there's rules governing this. So there's breaks. So if they get I think it's 33 rounds of voting and they still don't have a pope, then they break for a day of prayer. And So the last 2 conclaves, the one that elected Pope Francis and the one that elected Pope Benedict, I think only took 24 hours. So we'll see about that this time. So who knows? The one that elected John Paul II took quite a bit longer. So the Lord's in charge. So just keep praying. These are exciting times in the church. These are exciting days and kind of days of great anticipation. So we'll look forward and see the way the Holy Spirit blows. The other thing I wanted to mention today is, if you haven't thought about it already, Sunday is Mother's Day. So if you haven't thought about your mom, if you haven't thought of a gift or a card to send or anything like that, now's the time. Consider this your friendly reminder that Mother's Day is on the horizon. So I'm also talking to myself as a reminder to myself that Mother's Day is coming, and I should probably make sure I do something for my mom. So, anywho, next week on the Couch Chat, there'll be a new pope. I think. In all likelihood, there'll be a new pope. So that's pretty exciting. So, who knows what the Lord's going to do. So, these are interesting days we live in. Anyways, Father Sean for the Couch Chat. We'll see you next week. I know this is kind of a quick one, but Conclave edition and Mother's Day edition. So we'll talk to you next week. See you soon. God bless. Arrivederci.